Delicious.
Alright, we got Nasty Asylum starting up. A little more rally drum in my life. Yeah, dude. Open up. Open up. Let's have a good time.
Fuck yeah, here we are.
We had a fucking network dinner minus Jose yesterday.
And also kind of like a network brunch just now. Or not rather a brunch, it's a late lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, good meatball subs.
No, dude, it's good. I know you didn't appreciate the way I ate it, but it was good.
Alright, well I appreciate you for appreciating it. Yeah, well, I'm Fat Doug and I'm here.
Dave's here. Jose's having some car issues again today.
Unfortunately, man, Jose can't catch a fucking break on these things, man. These
nah,
cars
boys.
are a motherfucker.
Everything goes wrong with Jose's cars, boys.
Not good, not good. So, how's your weekend, man?
So far so good. Like, we had a good time yesterday, and I tried to get some things done last night, and I didn't. And today's been a pretty good time.
Yeah, pretty nice. Again, rally drumming it.
Oh yeah.
Couple natter days left in there.
You live anywhere near us. In Chesterland, there's this beautiful building called Red, White, and Brew.
Red Wine and Brew.
Red Wine and Brew, sorry.
Yes.
I get the pun mixed up.
Mm-hmm.
But
Tasty.
they have beers from around the world, wine from around the world. The liquor's a little
lacking in the liquor department, but that's probably not their fault. It's probably more of a county thing.
Yeah, but it's a huge place, man.
You get lost in there. It's nice.
We did. Like we
I had to double back quite a few times.
We took a couple wrong turns. We didn't even look through the whole building.
Yeah, I was rather indecisive on a lot of the things that I was going to get. I'd grab one thing, I'm like, fuck yeah, this is awesome. This is a good price, I'm going to do this. And then I'd see another thing with just a stupid fucking name. And because of how easily amused I am, I really wanted to try those things. But I settled on good old-fashioned Natter Day. Gotta love it. It's delicious and refreshing. And you introduced me to Rally Drum, which I just cracked open. It's rather delicious.
I bought the last 4 Rally Drum they had.
You're right, you did.
Because, like I said before, baseball season is now upon us. And I love baseball. I love my Indians. And Great Lakes makes Rally Drum specifically for the Indians games.
Yes, boys.
Celebrate John J. Adams, the Rally drummer, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Very, very nice. So, now that we hit that intro,
yes,
we're going to walk into some of my mans.
We've got them.
I believe we're going to start with the bad, my man.
Yeah, it looks like we are. Oh, shit.
Yeah, fucking rough.
I forgot what we talked about earlier.
Yes, sir.
So, my man, an attacker throws animal semen on schoolgirls.
Not cool.
Not at all. What the fuck is wrong with you?
It's a lot.
Is this England?
I don't know where this is.
Greater Manchester in the Bury area.
Dude, I was in a hard scramble for this.
I'm going to say England because I just saw the word Unsworth.
That's fair.
And Prestwich.
Oh, for sure. Definitely aggressively white English people.
Alright, English people, you get your shit in check because this guy's just dumping animal loads all over 15 and 14-year-old girls.
Under what context? Why?
I don't see it.
That's a shitty article. That's
It has 6 incidents of this, and they don't want people to be frightened.
Why?
But they're taking reports seriously. Like England, seriously, get your shit together because in America, the cops will chase you if they find out you've been dumping any kind of load on a teenage girl.
100%. You're a fucking felon. It's not good. And what compels you to just start J.O.ing a bunch of fucking animals and chasing down schoolgirls and be like dumping it on them? It doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, what's the compulsion to jerk off an English terrier and then just throwing loads of passively room temperature semen on 15-year-old girls? It's not good.
No. Honestly, this did happen a few years ago now.
Oh, god damn it.
Some dude had what do you call it? Spritz bottles. The ones people train their dogs with. He had one of them running all over the Niles Mall, just
full of cum?
Not I don't think teenage girls, but yeah, full jizz.
Like dude jizz?
Yeah, he's just squirting it at everybody.
Homeboy's just spanking it into goddamn Lysol
women's.
That's fucking...
He squirted everybody.
And he went to jail, I assume, correct?
Yeah. Oh, he got busted.
That's assault, brother.
Yeah.
That's not okay.
They're not allowed to just throw jizz at people.
I mean, there's a grade to it, I guess. I mean, if you're throwing on some fucking, dog
Unless it's
semen,
consensual.
if someone's consenting to being sprayed down with semen, we need to take a look at how their relationship was with their father. Because that's a fucking lot. All right, or their uncle or some weird babysitter that they had along the way.
I'm saying if it's
there's trauma.
If it's consensual and they're like, you can just pull out.
Even if it's consensual, it's still not okay.
You pull out a little bit on their stomach, whatever.
It's not covered in. That's not getting Windexed with semen. There's a difference.
No, but we're talking. That's consensual. You're allowed to do that.
I mean, yeah, you take hot loads wherever you want to.
I'm just saying you can't run around public areas just spraying people down with your fucking baby gravy.
It's not okay at all. This gentleman, my man, you need help immediately.
Go get that help.
Go get help, and if you do it to anyone else, I hope that they fucking castrate you, because that's disgusting.
And I hope they, slip in a couple billy club swings on you, because those are teenage girls.
You deserve it. They didn't do anything. They're just trying to get like good Snapchats and stuff like that. And the next thing you know, in the middle of a selfie with a weird filter where she's like a dog face, you're just trying to spray animal semen on them. It's not okay.
Because, it's not okay to do it to anybody.
Ever, ever, ever.
But teenage girls,
no,
you're gonna fuck them up.
Yeah,
they're still learning who they are, and you can ruin them by doing shit like that.
You don't even know they're medical. Like, that's some therapy they might not be able to afford. That's a lot.
So much.
Oh, my man, fuck you.
Eat dicks.
Yes, sir. On to the next one. Is this a good one?
But to make things a little bit better, a student withdrew from their prom court to clear the way for their friend who had autism to win prom king.
Fuck yes.
Good
my
on
man.
Good on you.
That's a good fucking dude right there. That's a class act.
Got
a name?
It says Sean Mabanta. He's 18. He found out he was on the prom court, which this is happening at a high school near Vegas.
Okay.
He went to the prom committee and asked to be taken off. He wanted his friend Edgar Hernandez to take his place. His friend has autism. He accepted the offer. The two became very good friends, and he wanted to make sure his friend had a shot at winning prom king. Which good on you, man. Like your friend has a little bit of a
disability in some regards, and
P.S. he wins.
Of course he fucking wins. If he doesn't win, the story doesn't make the fucking roll, my guy.
Yeah.
Like,
good times.
It is, and that's just good moral compass right there for that kid. Like 18 years old, and prom in a lot of ways is like the biggest part of your high school.
Oh yeah,
ever.
For most of it.
So many people look forward to being at prom with their dates and dressing to the nines, and you got the limos and dinners and after parties, and it's the culmination of 4 years of suffering that you get to just underagedly do all these things you can never do again. And this guy's like, dude, fuck my ego. My friend is awesome, and I want to just help him out. I'm going to step aside and let this dude just have his fucking night. Have his day in court, pun intended. And it's fucking awesome, and I appreciate it a lot. They look like good friends. Yeah.
It looks like they've hung out quite a bit.
All smiles, having a good fucking time. He's wearing that crown like a goddamn badass. Shouts out. But
I don't know what I do wrong. Sorry, I burped into the mic. My bad. No, I see. This is very positive, and this is the second time in 3 weeks now. We've had high school age kids doing stuff you don't expect them to do.
Oh, for sure, yeah, like getting out of their own way.
We had that story about the 4 boys
shoveling,
making sure that lady got to her dialysis appointment.
Yes, sir. 4:30 in the morning, got up doing this. This guy, he's doing another great service to somebody else who's not always.
You got a friend that has is autism like a learning disability?
It's like some sort of special needs thing. I'm not gonna really speak on it too much.
Yeah,
but a lot of the time, social awkwardness is part of it. And the fact that you brought them in front of everybody and you made them king for a day. That's exactly what you did. You did awesome.
Yeah, good on you, man. I appreciate you doing that. I really do.
And that kid's gonna get that memory forever. Like like he could possibly not have been the star quarterback or the lead in the musical or this athlete or whatever per se. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. But that's neither here nor there. What he is in this moment is due to his friendship with you. He is king for a fucking day. And to feel important like that when sometimes maybe you don't, that speaks volumes to not only your character but the memory you're gonna leave this kid.
Yeah, he's might not mean a lot to a lot of people.
Means a lot to me.
In all honesty, you might win prom king, prom queen. What? Within 6 months, it don't matter to you anymore.
No, it's nothing. It's just a high school whatever.
If they give you a sash, if you go to one of them schools, you might hang it up somewhere.
Maybe.
But for an autistic kid,
that could mean a lot.
That's gonna mean the world because he might even make more friends, new friends out of this.
Confidence. You just gave him confidence. Like he gets to go up and everybody cheers him on, claps, and like you don't know if that opened doors to where now in social settings he just starts walking up and talking to people.
Plus, like this stuff isn't whatever. Like it's not. It's more a popularity contest, right?
Of course.
And it's usually like the better looking kids.
It's like the better looking kids that are popular that like.
So he also got to dance with like one of the 5 prettiest girls in school.
Hands down.
Because it's always one of the 5 prettier girls to get it.
Always.
And so that's gonna give him some confidence. He just got to spend like 5 minutes twirling around with the girl.
You got the dime piece on your arm, twirling around to a little fucking...
For the rest of the night?
It's a little Brian McKnight maybe, or like some real fun, I don't know, fun dance or something. Brian McKnight's that came to my mind. I'm old. I get it. Start back at 1.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's a really cool feel-good story.
Brian McKnight should always be a prom song.
Every time.
Always.
Start it back at 1.
Always.
Alright, so those are my mans, and that was a great one.
That really was. I was really impressed by that kid.
And now we're going to walk into some entertainment news. What do we got over there, my spot?
Okay,
Dave,
guys.
rather. You're Dave now. Gotta get on.
So how's this for you? We've been hearing nothing but Dumbo news for a couple months now.
About how anticipated it was. I believe Tim Burton had his hand in it.
They're calling it a flop.
Like his ears.
Yeah, basically. Most articles said Dumbo flops as far as he flies.
Oh man, that's unfortunate.
And I know the story of Dumbo. I haven't seen the cartoon version, but I know it's an elephant that flies. I know there were crows that were severely racist.
I mean, maybe in the 30s. I'm assuming they got that handled now, but
yeah, but
well, he's a circus elephant that got he's held against his will. He's super special. That's why they take him. And then these kids, I believe, they find him. They realize his potential. They want to free him from the shittiness that is that of being an elephant in a circus, which age-old story, elephants and circuses kind of fucking sucks for them all the time. And so does it give any
here's what I'm guessing. I don't see numbers in here. Here's what I'm guessing. They were probably like, we're gonna make. What's Avengers usually make opening weekend? Like 150?
No, it's more
125?
About 180, 200 plus.
Okay, so
somewhere around there.
They were probably expecting
middle ground, probably like 160, 170.
Yeah, maybe 130.
I mean, you look at the cast.
And they probably made like
130.
Maybe they made 80 or 90.
For the budget though, and the cast is, I mean, there's Colin Farrell, there's Danny DeVito.
Yeah, but
all that CG that goes into play, and paying Tim Burton to be a part of it. It's probably some coin.
But if people like it, they tell their friends. Their friends are gonna go see it.
Yeah, hopefully so.
You're gonna get there, and it's just, I don't know, man. Like as much as I haven't seen any of these animated movies, I did watch The Jungle Book with the Bill Murray and Christopher Walken and all them. I enjoyed that a lot.
But here's what I'm thinking, though.
And I was planning on going and seeing this. They sold me with Danny DeVito. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, for sure. But for me, I think it's just there's an expectation to a lot of these movies because they play on nostalgia. That's why the market is the way it is for them. A lot of people sign on to these movies with bigger names because they know for the most part the box office is going to be there, and whether or not your contract is this, that, or the other, there's money to be made in these movies. But the downside is they're always going to be compared to the memory you had when you saw the original. And that's the problem with reboots and like rehashes is it's always going to be drawn back to, well, I felt like this when I saw it the first time. Well, that's because it's the first time.
Yeah.
That you can't relive you lost your virginity when you were 12 or whatever. You're not going to be able to relive that ever again in your life.
Nah.
Your first baseball game, the first time you got a kiss, the first time you had a fucking meatball sub, the first time you cracked a cold one with the boys, all that stuff. You don't get to relive that shit. It's the first time. So this nostalgic take on things and why people want to just harden back to their childhood it's kind of fruitless critically and review wise, but monetarily, it's a wonderful idea. It makes all the sense in the world to keep doing this. Until people finally go, no, fuck that, I like the original, I don't want to be a part of this. Which now this may set the precedent for what's going to happen with Aladdin.
Oh.
Which I hear is a huge thing.
Here's the thing that's happening. Jungle Book hit hard, hit big. As did it says here, Beauty and the Beast.
Also.
Did not watch that. But they're banking too hard on these things is what I'm seeing right now. Because it says there's plenty more coming. In May is Aladdin.
Yes.
July is The Lion King.
Yes.
So that's 3 live action reboots.
In 1 year.
In 1 year.
That's a lot. But
5 overall, and they started 2 years ago.
But this is why they can do that. They're dropping Endgame this year, and they dropped Captain Marvel, so you're going to bankroll a lot off of those movies. You can lose some money in other movies by taking these chances. And you're going to make all the money in the world with Lion King. Because there's no faces to the characters. It's just animals and voices. So you're like that's why Jungle Book probably succeeded as well as it did. It's because not only was it shot really well.
You had the boy, and the rest was
just voices.
Yeah.
So it's an easy way to make the money. Now, with Beauty and the Beast, there was like 4 live-action real characters that were like human, and the rest was CG or people in mocap suits, and then it's voices. So there you go. You're making some money there. Now we're starting to cross over to where there's a lot more actual people and not animals or like characters like that. Where if you're gonna make these live actions, you're gonna have to cast people. So you're not having to hide behind the animation.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the drawback is. The animation is just so iconic.
Mulan's coming out next year.
That movie will be great no matter what.
And then it says, right now we're still in like a pre-production phase apparently on Lady and the Tramp and Little Mermaid.
Lady and the Tramp can kick rocks all the way out.
Is that the one where 2 dogs make out?
Well, they eat the spaghetti. They eat the spaghetti. Yeah. Share one noodle.
Yeah.
Just keep that movie the way it is. Don't move it.
Doesn't seem like that needs change.
Doesn't need to be live action.
I mean, you're still gonna bank hard on that scene of them making out, eating spaghetti.
They don't really make out, Dave.
Whatever.
They like touch noses.
I don't care. That seems like making out for dogs.
Okay. I mean, normally they just bang each other, but you know.
Well, the ones that care to go the extra mile.
The ones that are sensual about it beforehand, they kind of get it going. Like, hey, we're gonna foreplay as dogs. You want a meatball and a noodle? Let's string it together. Let's figure it out. And then all of a sudden, the next thing you know, it's just bow wow wow yippee yo yippee yay, and they're just hitting it from the back. I get it. But yeah, I think they are really hard pressed to try to just suck all the pennies out of this nostalgia and suck all the pennies they can out of superheroes. It's Disney. They're
going to.
It's not the content necessarily as it is the money. The money's there, so they're gonna go. What do we got for the next one, Mike?
The next one. This is a big one, okay? If you're not a comic book fan, I guess maybe not as big. Batman, this is the 80th year of Batman. Last year was the 80th year of Superman.
Mm-hmm.
All these big characters are hitting milestones. I mean, think about it. We're 80% of a century.
There's a lot of
superheroes.
Exactly.
So, Detective Comics issue number 1000 came out. What's today? Friday?
Yeah, it's the 29th.
2 days ago.
Yeah.
I got my copy. I read the first 2 stories. The first of which was written by Scott Snyder, drawn by Greg Capullo. It was a good story.
Okay.
Good story. It's Batman trying to finish up this case that he started at the very beginning of his career.
Oh.
And it takes him to a organization of, it's like a club of detectives. It's got Hawkman, Hawkgirl, Martian Manhunter, Detective Chimp, a couple of people who are just like fill-in characters.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, no, you're here because you enjoy the chase. The chase brought you to this room to find us.
Oh.
That's who we are. We're the League of Detectives.
That's kind of interesting as fuck.
It was a fun story. They get like 6 pages on these. So to tell a story like that quick,
Mm-hmm.
it was pretty good. It was an entertaining story.
And for me, that like it speaks to a movie I really enjoyed. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's called Now You See Me. And how they end up finding like the League of Magicians and shit like that. And, like,
Yes,
this
I believe
order.
I've seen that.
It's
Yes.
very. I like that movie a lot, and it's done really well. And that kind of like has that same kind of vibe to it. And I enjoy those kind of stories where it's like we set this up so we can all get together and be the greatest that we can be, and that's where the trail leads, and that's pretty fucking cool.
Also, if you're gonna read these spoilers,
all the spoilers.
the second story, and I've only read these two. I've still
Okay.
got a lot of this issue to go because it's a 96-page giant. If you know what that means. The second one was written by Kevin Smith,
Okay.
drawn by comic legend Jim Lee, who drew Hush. If you have a favorite version of Wolverine, which is probably early 90s Wolverine, that was Jim Lee drawing it.
Mm-hmm.
This story was so good. So Batman puts on, Bruce Wayne puts on a mask, and he just goes to a pawn shop in Gotham. And he said, "Hey, I heard Gotham gift shop is here." And the guy, plays it safe. And he goes, "No, you have things that make Gotham Gotham, and I want to buy one." So they go into the basement, and there's like 30 penguin umbrellas, like Joker flowers,
Oh, okay.
Two-Face, and he goes, yeah. He's like, "I already told you what I'm looking for." So the guy opens a case. He's like, "These are the twin 9mm Harvey Dent used for this crime. This is the Joker's bang gun." He goes, "This one is the one that gunned down the Waynes." And he's like, "I want that." Alright. And then this was a cool thing. It was like $1,000. He goes, "Now I'm gonna give you $1,500. And then he takes it, you find out it's Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
He takes it to the Batcave, and Alfred's like, "I'm not helping you take care of that gun. Why do you want that?" And he's like, "I'm gonna show you." And the whole time they're showing like scenes of Batman getting hit in the chest and like getting cut open where the symbol is.
Yeah.
He smelts down the gun that kills his parents and turns it into a like bulletproof bat chest symbol.
That is very interesting, all things considered, because
Yeah,
you think
right?
he would take it
Kevin
to try to find the murderer.
Kevin Smith wrote in 6-8 pages a really compelling emotional Batman story.
Mm-hmm.
You took the gun that made you Batman and make yourself a stronger Batman with it.
Yeah, that's a real good take on it.
It was so good.
It's essentially like what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Like what didn't destroy him and made him what he is now. He's accepted it.
And for like, he's been teasing it for like 2 months.
Wow, that's
And
really good. Shouts out Kevin Smith. That's a fucking good one.
Because he kept talking about like, I get to be part of Detective 1000, and I get to write my 6-page story, and Jim Lee's gonna write it, and he kept teasing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I doubt he's gonna hear this, but thank you. That was a Batman story that only someone who truly loves Batman could write.
Yeah, and it's just great for the fans. Like for all of us who've gone through the journey, seen the trials and tribulations of Bruce Wayne, and following what you see in year one, and you see like the shit that Grant Morrison does with him, and the stuff like what happens in Asylum, and the way he always falls back towards like my parents. You're always like, okay, dude, we get it, but this time you're showing that he's come to terms. He's there, and what drove him to the brink of I don't even know how to describe it. Insanity in certain ways.
Controlled insanity.
Yeah, is now what is making him a stronger force of light in a way. It's a very very artistic, elegant way to do that. It's a great story.
The longer that's like after a little bit, I got through a few, like the first couple pages. And I was like, this guy's gonna be Bruce Wayne. I just feel like for some reason Bruce Wayne's gonna buy something weird from this guy.
Yeah.
And then I knew for sure it was Bruce Wayne when he was like, "This is the gun that murdered Thomas and Martha Wayne."
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Oh fuck, this is Bruce." But seeing him make it into a piece of armor for his suit, That was something I wasn't expecting, and it was great. That's a very, like I said, a very emotional, intense Batman story.
And to only do it in that small amount of space is really good.
And Jim Lee's art really brings it to life. Like he was a great artist for that story.
It's dope. I like that. I'll have to check that out for sure.
When I finish it, man, you're more than welcome to borrow it.
Like, yeah, I'm gonna look at it.
Because last year they did the 1000 action, and that was a lot of fun to read. For those who don't know, though, the first story written by Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo, if you bothered to read any DC when they were calling it the New 52, they were the Batman group. They were writing the Batman title, not detective, but Batman. And Scott Snyder created the Court of Owls. All that kind of stuff. Like anything from that was a really good run.
Yeah.
Like Batman was the most impressive part of the New 52.
For sure.
Oh yeah. Like the rest wasn't bad.
I mean, some of it's kind of corny as fuck. Like Superman's New 52 is not something I'm really fond of.
They made like Clark Kent wanting to be an MMA fighter.
Yeah, which is insane.
You can't do that.
You can't do that. It's just too there.
It's already in the canon that he wanted to play high school football, but he refused to because he didn't want to hurt nobody.
Exactly. And it was in Smallville. You see that? Like, there's that episode where he plays football once. But yeah, I'm definitely glad that story's there, and it sounds like a good read. I'm gonna definitely take a look at it.
Oh, I can't wait to let you read it. Okay, near and dear to my heart.
Keeping with the Kevin Smith. That's
Jay and Silent Bob Reboot.
So much is happening. So much.
Kevin Smith has already said that if you've seen Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, this movie's gonna be virtually the same movie, but they're trying to stop the reboot.
Yes.
And there's reboot, remakes, sequel jokes through the whole fucking movie. And if you don't know about his heart attack, he had to lose a lot of weight.
Significant amount of weight.
Significant. So they basically turned all the lunchbox fat boy jokes into vegan jokes.
I can appreciate that.
And that's fine. But the people that have come back to help him out is nice. Unreal. Like, Jason Lee became such a big star, and he came back. Rosario Dawson, she's back. This article's Joey Lauren Adams, who played in Mallrats. She's back. And she was not Amy. I can't think of the name. Because the title Chasing Amy comes from a Silent Bob story.
Yeah.
The actual character's name's not Amy.
Yeah.
But she was the main character in Chasing Amy.
Yes, Ben Affleck was going after it.
And there's been a lot of... Alyssa Jones, right here, it's the name.
There you go. Shouts out.
He's gotten so many people back. The kids from Jay and Silent from Clerks, too. The ones that buy the weed and they're like, what kind of Jesus freaks did you bring me to? Those kids, they brought back the ones from Jay and Bob Reboot.
You mean Strike Back?
Strike Back. Where,
the kid that buy the weed?
Yeah.
$15 little man?
Yeah.
All right.
They brought those kids back.
Cool.
One of the bigger stories is, I don't know when this came about, because as far as Kevin Smith said, they pretty much wrapped. And Affleck said he wants to come back. He's willing to play whatever character he's played in the universe. Kevin Smith just lets him know, which is a big deal.
It is, considering like that whole thing that was going on where like Kevin Smith allegedly kind of shit on BVS, and like, you know, after all the praise, he was happy about Affleck getting the Batman role, and Affleck's been kind of out of the Smith universe for a while.
A long time.
And everyone thought maybe there was like a falling out, but it really was just Ben Affleck went to stardom.
That's busy.
And that's just a busy schedule to take care of. I mean, this is how close they are. Ben Affleck bought a house and sold it to Kevin Smith so he could live there, and it was like talking about the Batcave, and they were doing all the Silent Bob and all the like the stories and just reminiscing. And then Affleck became a director. He became a bigger actor. He became an Oscar winner. He became so many things after he'd already worked with Kevin Smith. His schedule just got tied up. So all the people who thought like, dude, fucking, they fell out, they don't like each other. It's not about that, man. Hollywood's busy. It's just fucking busy.
When he became Batman, when did we find out he became Batman? Like a year before BVS came out? Year and a half?
Somewhere around that time frame, yeah.
So in that time, he's played Batman in technically 3 movies.
Technically, but let's say 2, and
He's mainly Batman in 2.
mm-hmm.
He's had 3, 4 other movies come out in that span.
Well, he had Live by Night.
Yes.
He's
directed a couple.
Yeah, he did Manchester by the Sea.
Yes. He's been, basically what we're saying is he's been a busy guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even think Kevin Smith has been shitty about it.
No.
He's just been like, yeah, I knew Ben Affleck once. It's a joke.
It's just all it is, and that's what you gotta do. Like, sometimes, you help someone get their legs about them, and then they run.
Yeah.
That's just what it is.
And he's also very proud of himself. He's had a big hand in, like, nobody was hiring Affleck.
No, not for a while. And then, Affleck did Reindeer Games, The Sum of All Fears, Paycheck, or some shit like that. I don't give a fuck. And then he started doing these, like...
And then, Kevin Smith was like, oh, shit. He read the script for
Good Will Hunting.
Good Will Hunting.
He said, holy
and
shit.
produced it.
Yeah. That's how much he believed in Ben Affleck. So that's
and
good.
somehow helped them get Robin Williams. And James Woods.
Yeah.
And Good Will Hunting's such a great movie. I enjoyed it a lot.
I recently watched it a couple of months ago. I'd never seen it before because I was just like, I don't care.
Robin Williams is great.
He's the best part of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a good fucking movie. And to know, like, the cool thing I like about this whole thing is being the fans we are of just, like, continuity, canon, friendships that just, like, they stand the test of time. You're talking dudes who worked together 25 years ago?
Mallrats came out in
95. 95? Okay, so almost 25 fucking years ago.
Yeah.
And they're still like, no, dude, we want to work together again. We
Yeah.
had a little cool off period. They did all these movies together, and now they're back. And all these people support someone so much that they're all willing to come back and do this movie.
And I really hope this Affleck thing is just didn't break on time, and he gets at least a 3-minute cameo in it.
Yeah, but just because they rolled and they're done.
No,
does not mean
they can add more, but I really hope there's at least 3 minutes of Affleck doing something in this movie.
Literally give me just 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And I just like to see them all together.
Like Clerks 2.
Mm-hmm.
Affleck was in it for 30 seconds.
Bring the band back together. Just seeing it for that snapshot is fucking worth it, and it's really nice. And I'm fucking crunk as shit, even though it's the same exact movie. That's not my words. Those are Kevin Smith's words. I'm still excited for it because, goddamn, we grew up with those things, and they're really fucking dope. But
And if you know me, you've seen me wear. I have 4 Kevin Smith hockey jerseys. Like
you have all of his comics.
Oh yeah, and he's the guy that, like, when I wanted to do this podcast thing to begin with, my hope was to do the Kevin Smith thing. Like, I wanted to help my friends get their voice out, and he put out a good blueprint for how to do things.
For sure.
You might not be that famous. Like, he's in the middle of, like, fame.
He's a B.
Yeah, and he's gotten his friends to good places.
Yeah, I mean, well, like,
and they've had fun along the way.
just a more personal note is I'm here now. You got my foot in the door. My foot in the door with, like, a year and a half ago. You brought me on Nasty Asylum as a guest just to tell some fucking stupid stories about how I have a pocket pussy and I live in a trailer. And that, like, kind of put my foot in the door, and now, I run a show with you on the same network. So that's exactly what it is. Just seeing your first succeed.
I just think he's got a good blueprint for how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you don't hit those heights of, like, Avatar or anything, like, money wise, but you and your friends have a great time.
That's a really cool thing. Is, like, if you want to do something you enjoy with the people you enjoy being around and making art and just doing these really fun fucking things, I can appreciate that all the way through. It's something I want to do. Like, it's something you want to do. It's something I believe everybody wants to do. It's like, if you're gonna go somewhere, you want to take your friends along for the ride. These are the people you fucking love being around. And so seeing all of his friends gather around him and just, like, we're fucking in the reboot, we're doing it, we're here for you.
And so
nice
many of these people have become so big they could just be like, fuck Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
Like, Rosario Dawson's huge.
I mean, not anymore, but
not anymore, but
maybe like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, the last big thing, she's just like Daredevil.
Who else is? But they've had so many. Like, he's shown so many pictures of people.
I mean, what was his name? Jason Lee, goddamn.
Yeah.
Jason Lee, My Name is Earl.
Yeah, he
One of the
blew
biggest
up on
shows on the fucking planet at one
And-
point in time. Goes, yeah, I did this, but I'm coming back. But that's probably because he's trying to make up for Alvin and the Chipmunks, but we'll never forget. We'll never forget.
Like, I remember Clerks 2 because he was still doing My Name is Earl.
Mm-hmm.
And they couldn't. They had that Justice League situation. He wasn't allowed to shave that mustache.
Mm.
So they had to they had to bring him in as a different character to make the mustache make sense because he was supposed to be Brody.
Mm.
And he came in and Kevin Smith had to write him as, pickle fucker. Because they couldn't get rid of the mustache, so they had to make him somebody else.
Yeah. Well, I think it's fucking awesome, and I'm excited for it.
He's put out so many pictures on Instagram of like who's come back. I can't even keep track of them all.
Dude, I bet you would see Mark Hamill. I bet you would see
Mark Hamill's got to be in it.
Mm-hmm.
But there were so many.
Jason Biggs is in it.
Biggs, Vanderbeek,
but
yeah. Neither one of them.
But Jason Biggs, he just did that whole run on Orange Is the New Black.
Yeah.
I mean, so there's that, and then I think Vanderbeek does a couple like shows on weird.
He's a special. He's a guest
and
star.
stuff like that. But yeah, still.
But yeah.
Just again, seeing all your friends come back to play the game again.
Oh yeah,
it's pretty
it's
fucking
so good.
Cool. Yeah. So where are we gonna go next?
We've got. We covered this on Intoxication, but it fits here too. Jordan Peele is making Us has is it dropped?
Us has dropped. It's actually
Okay.
It opened. It was the highest grossing of the weekend.
Okay. He says he doesn't see himself casting white people as leads in his movie. Excuse me.
That was a good push.
This is a story non-story.
Yeah, basically,
he's gonna write stories that he knows that he can write and make successful.
Mm-hmm.
You write what you know if you want to write the best possible story you can.
Exactly.
He doesn't know any. He doesn't know what it's like to be white people.
He knows how to be an African American person
So
in the United States of America.
So there's no way he can write a good movie.
Well, it's not that there's no way. It's
he
just
could,
that in his
maybe.
wheelhouse and the way he feels and how he wants to put out his creativity and his narratives and his stories. It's like they're told through the eyes of someone who's African American. That's just what it is. And that's because that's what he knows and that's where he feels comfortable. There's nothing wrong with sitting in the realm of comfortability and writing what you know and what you're good at. And this whole thing's getting blown out of proportion because he said white leads. He didn't say white people. Because if you think back, one of the co-leads of his debut movie, Get Out, is a white person. Most of that cast is white. There are a handful of African Americans. Everyone in that movie, of note even, that you would recognize, are white people. And with that, I mean, that's just the movie he wanted to write. That's the narrative he wanted to tell. And I don't know what the outcry is by saying I don't see myself writing a role for a white person to be a lead is something that could either be, misled as offensive or taken the wrong way because when's the last time Sylvester Stallone wrote a movie where a black guy was the lead? When's the last time Steven Spielberg wrote a movie where a black guy was the lead? When's the last time that Spike Lee wrote a movie where a white guy was the lead? Or John Singleton wrote a movie where a white guy was a lead. It doesn't matter who it is. It's what you know and how you can adhere yourself to the story.
And back to what we were just saying, Kevin Smith writes movies, white guys doing comic books.
That's it. It's
because he's a white guy that spent his life reading comic books.
Exactly.
And he can make movies about white guys reading comic books telling dirty jokes.
That's what he does.
And that's, maybe, again, he doesn't make the most money, but people love those movies because you see yourself in those movies. If you're me, you're you.
Mm-hmm.
So Jordan Peele has obviously the right and he has the ability to make these movies. He can cast whoever he wants, write his stories the way he wants. And black people can go to these movies, African Americans can go to these movies, and they can see what we see. Watching other things.
But even in that regard, it's just this. If you don't like it, don't support it. That's all.
Yeah,
Like if you don't like a certain music, you don't listen to it. If you like certain kind of genre of movies, you don't watch them. That's just what you do. The only reason this gained traction is because of the clickbaity titles that came with it, and the fact that there's a bunch of uppity white people who have to feel like they have the same right to be outraged at things that don't even pertain to them. It's not about you. It's about the art. The guy's not a racist. His wife is white. His kids are half white. I mean, it doesn't fucking matter. It's not about him hating white people. It's about him narrating the stories. And he's even said, all these horror movies that he's writing, he's like, okay, I'm using black leads. But the thing is, the representation of black people in horror movies are normally the people who are comedic relief, or they die first, or whatever. They're never really the heroes of the day.
Nah.
And so he's like, I want my movie. This is what I want. And again, if you don't like it, go fuck yourself. You don't have to do it. It's like you don't hear African Americans be like, why don't we have fucking black quarterbacks? Well, because white quarterbacks are pretty fucking good at it, and that's what people keep doing. If you're good for the role that they want to put you in, that's what you play. That's what you do. And if his characters are supposed to be African American, fucking heroes of the day, that's what you're gonna write. I mean, it doesn't make sense. There's, again, no call-outs on anybody else for what they cast in movies. It's just because there's a successful African American director saying he exclusively thinks that his stories will probably involve African American leads, and people are like, well, what the fuck? That's discriminatory. Guess what's stupid? In entertainment, the only place that being discriminatory can still exist is there. You can tell someone they're too fat for a role. You can tell someone they're not strong enough for a role. You can say, I don't want a woman, I want a man. I don't want a man, I want a woman. I don't want a white guy, I want a black guy, I want an Asian, I want this. You can say that because it's for art. It's the art you're trying to put out in the world. No one is trying to say that Hollywood is an equal opportunity employer, because what we've seen, it's not. There are 9 billion fucking people who want to act, and only 100,000 of them can. Exactly. And that's what it is. And so if you got a problem with it, go fuck yourself and don't watch his shit. But then again, look at the body of work that a lot of these other people do, and if you're going to keep that energy with him, keep that same energy across the board. Be outraged at everything and ignore great art, because you're a fucking idiot. Moving forward, I cannot wait to see Us. I'm really excited to see where it goes. And also, I loved Get Out and Key and Peele. And the next thing I'm going to say is he's touching Candyman, which I'm really fucking into. And Twilight Zone is going to be the new Black Mirror with a better writer. Hands down, a better writer. And I'm fucking crunk for it. Shouts out Jordan Peele. But could you please bring Keegan-Michael into something? Because I love that man. And I love your dynamic. If you guys could just be guys on the side in the movie for the 1.5 minute comedic relief.
And just do something goofy on the side.
I would fucking love the
shit. Just barely in frame, do some goofy shit.
Yeah, it's fucking great. But shouts out. Good on you for being so successful and doing so well. I appreciate it.
I'm on your back. I got your back, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
Now we've got... You watched this. I got to watch a little bit of it yesterday.
Yes, sir.
This, Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Part of my childhood. Creep me the fuck out. Because I think the first time I read them, I was 8 years old. And it's not just the stories. Because essentially it's just like the first versions of creepy pastas and shit like that. But the artwork, it's all scratchy. It's all like abstract, elongated, like dude's got puffy arms, like a sewn on mouth, and like he's holding a head, but it doesn't look like a head, but it might be a head. You don't fucking know. You're creeped out because you're 8. And so I'm like, oh, but how do you make this into a movie? How do you tie it together? And then
it sounds like it says they're gonna follow the It formula, but it sounds like it's gonna be kind of like the Goosebumps movie, where a lot of the characters are just gonna be coming together.
Well, what happens from what I saw in the trailer?
It says Jangly Man, Big Toe, Pale Lady, and Red Spot.
Yep.
Among other characters.
And the cool thing is you see some of the animations they have going on in that movie, in the trailer, and they look exactly like if you just brought the art style to life. They're misdrawn, misshapen, odd, and like damp and wet. Just fucking creepy as shit. And then you see the trailer, and it's like these kids are like talking, and it looks like it's based on, like, some of it's in the 70s, 80s-ish. I'm not quite sure.
1968 America.
Okay, there it is, because the cars were older.
At a small town of Mill Valley.
Okay.
There's basically a synopsis right here.
Alright, hit me with it.
It says it's 1968 in America. How they stole from Bob Dylan here. Change is blowing in the wind.
Fuck me.
But seemingly far removed from the unrest in the cities is the small town of Mill Valley, where for generations the shadow of the Bellows family has loomed large. It's in their mansion on the edge of town that Sarah, a young girl with horrible secrets, turned her tortured life into a series of scary stories, written in a book that has transcended time. Stories that have a way of becoming all too real for a group of teenagers who discover Sarah's home.
Yeah, that's what you kind of take away in the
So
trailer.
basically, it's gonna like we said, it's gonna
Goosebumps
be
and It.
a more adult Goosebumps movie.
Yeah, and I love that because Goosebumps. I mean, it is what it is.
You know what? Not bad.
My kid.
I seen the first one.
My kid loves it.
It was pretty good.
My kid loves it.
It was a good way to tell the stories of those books.
Mm-hmm. But it's the same. It seems like the same principle, just darker. Like there's no relief from it. It is supposed to be scary. It's supposed to be kind of unnerving. And again, the trailer just looks really cool. And what I like the most about it is I don't know what the rating is on it yet. I didn't get to finish the trailer. We were in the car with Madison, so I didn't really want to be watching anything. But it looks like I could possibly even let her see it. If it's PG-13, I'm down for it because it's just a little scary. Not a big deal. I read it when I was younger, but I like that this is coming to life and it's taking that same kind of formula. That formula works. And it could create a whole new genre of movies where, like, the books that are these compilations that we all know and love, again, playing on the nostalgia that Disney does, bringing them to life so that we can re-enjoy them again, and we can, like, I'm an adult now, I have kids. I can bring my kids into this shit. See, we can click.
Here's the thing I like. I think I kind of remember these books. I'm pretty sure I read at least a few of them.
There's 3 of them that I know of for sure.
And, but Goosebumps had a TV show for a while.
Awful.
And it was awful.
Awful.
And when they said the movie was coming, I was like, oh shit. But they did a good job with the movie.
Well, yeah, because
it's
campy as fuck.
The movie was entertaining.
It's campy as fuck.
And me and you could watch it and be like, oh, that's Goosebumps. And then your kids could watch it. Maybe somewhere along the line they get a small scare, but it was fun to watch.
Oh yeah.
This I've seen, other than the trailer you showed me. Nothing outside of a book about this. Mm-mm. So they've got the chance to do a lot of interesting things because it's never been seen before.
Yeah, and there's this little scene in the trailer, spoilers if you haven't seen it, but I mean it's available. It's not like you're not going to be able to watch it whenever you want to. But they're like, it's not about you reading the book, it's how the book reads you. So now the stories aren't just like individual characters, the story is its own character, and the characters in those stories are like tentacles. They're just parts of this entity. And I'd like to see how that's going to pan out. I think it's really smart writing. I'm not sure who the director is, or like Alexander something or another. I think he has had his hand in some other horror-type movies, but...
Oh, I can tell you right now.
All right, hit me with that.
Where'd it go?
His name's hard to pronounce. I'm going to be completely honest with you.
His name is Andre Avradal.
Okay, there you go.
That's as close as I'm going to get.
Yeah, that's fair fucking enough, man.
It says he's best known for his 2016 standout horror film, The Autopsy of Jane Doe.
This is a great fucking movie.
Did I watch that?
It's got
I think I did.
You remember the dude from
Yeah, I know what it is now.
Yeah, they both autopsy the girl and then a bunch of shit starts going wrong and they open her up and there's writing on the inside of her body, like what the fuck? It's so good.
By the way, watch that.
Good shit. Recommendation.
It's on Netflix and I would watch it because
it's different.
It's different. It's fucking creepy.
It is creepy. That's what the one thing I will go like. I mean, we're gonna go a little off on it, but like IFC Films is what does IFC After Midnight or whatever the fuck they make films, like a lot of the horror movies, and some of them are fucking wonderful, and they just fly under the radar, like you never see them.
You know, like IFC After Midnight. That's where Human Centipede came from.
No, it didn't. Man, I gave you all this fucking praise.
I have the Blu-ray.
Have you seen?
And at the beginning of the Blu-ray, it says IFC After Midnight Films.
Oh my god. Those movies are horrendous, horrific, and stupid. They're the dumbest fucking movies. I didn't even make it. I got to the end of the second one. I made it through the first one. I was like, whatever. It's fucking gross, but it's not that bad. The second one was gross. The second one, where she stomps on that fucking fetus that falls out of her when she's trying to get away. Nope. Can't do it. Won't do it. It's fucking disgusting.
I can watch those movies all day. That one scene.
It's over.
At the end of that movie, I was like, fuck.
I had to turn it off. I didn't even finish it. I was like, why would this even need to happen? What the fuck? And that portly dude, that portly, ugly motherfucker, God never blessed you with a good looking bone in your body.
Jerking off with sandpaper.
The smallest dick, jerking off with sandpaper, wrapping your fucking flaccid small chode in a fucking barbed wire thing and banging the back of the centipede after you fed him a bunch of enemas. It's disgusting. There's no creative value in that fucking movie.
None. It's
whatsoever.
All
it's disgusting. And then you watch the third one. And I got maybe 30
minutes.
minutes.
Watch the third one. Yeah.
Spoilers. It's been out for a while, so I'm gonna do this to you. I don't
Go for it.
the dude from the first one plays the warden of a prison. The dude from the second one plays his assistant. They decided to make a whole inmate. I don't know. I didn't get that far. Didn't get that far.
Okay.
I got to a point where there's this. Oh my god. So they're talking about making a centipede, and then this warden has this weird fucking dream. And in this
Like
weird dream, all the inmates, he wants to put them together. So it's going to save resources in the prison, keep the prison open. Fucking idiotic. And so there's a scene where this dude shanks the warden viciously, like opens him up. Sight. It's always that Mexican dude with all the tattoos on his head, that old guy. Yeah, he shanks the fuck out of the warden. Warden's on the ground. Dude whips dick out and fucks the wound. And I'm like, I'm out. This is ridiculous. I'm not going to be a part of this. I'm not going to be a part of this. I turned it off.
I'm watching
because there's no value in this story. There's not even a story there.
There's no point.
It's stupid as fuck.
I like them,
IFC, you've made some good shit that I like, but that movie's fucking dumb.
See, okay,
put it away.
But
never do it again.
2 and 3 might not be, but I know when I bought the Blu-ray for the first one.
It's called the most disgusting movie ever made.
And it said IFC Films.
That's fucking crazy. It's just, those are so bad. So fucking bad. Ew. And the science behind it doesn't even exist properly. You cannot defecate into someone's mouth for nutrition because there are pathogens and shit. They will kill you. God damn it. You can't just scat in someone's mouth and act like you're saving them. What are you, Sly Stallone without a glass table? What are you doing? You just having someone dropping hot toddies in your mouth, you're saying 3 hots in a cot? No, and the person in the middle has the worst thing ever, because not only are they getting their mouth shit into, but then they have to realize after that they have to shit in another human being's mouth. There's no sustenance to the story or the logic behind it. It is upsetting. Fuck that noise. It's a German thing too. Of course they made him German. There's poop in it.
The first movie ended exactly the way it needed to, because the dude in the front and the girl in the back die.
And the girl
in the middle is alive and fucked, and there's nothing she can do.
But let me explain something real fast.
And that part, I was like, there's no other way to end this movie.
She could have got out, though. She could have got out. It's just stapled. I mean, it's going to hurt your fucking face. It's going to hurt your face, but he just stapled.
No, the first movie they were sewed.
You still rip it. Stitches.
Yeah,
you can rip your stitches. It's going to hurt.
Yeah, I mean, but in the second one's when he stapled everybody.
Oh, yeah.
He wasn't a doctor.
He's not a fucking doctor. Killed his mom, too. Horrible, horrible guy.
Killed his mom awesomely.
Yeah, that was a lot, though. That whole movie's a lot. It's just so fucking stupid. It's so stupid. God damn it. And then they show that guy's poor, small little dick. Little dick. Sir, you're a brave man. I hope they paid you a lot of fucking money.
Playing a little 5-on-1 with the sandpaper.
Yeah, a little 5-on-1, dude.
Pulling that goalie.
Oh my god. But, son of a bitch. Autopsy of Jane Doe is dope, though. I really fucking like that movie. They did
highly
that
recommend.
one. They did I Am Not a Serial Killer, which is a really fucking good one that you might want to check out.
I think I have.
And then they did, what's that one with Dee Snider?
I've seen this.
Yeah. Strangeland?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad.
That movie's actually pretty old.
It's pretty fucking like the 90s.
Yeah.
It's not bad though. I liked it.
Like the beginning of that whole like
internet
putting huge hooks in your piercing yourself with the huge hooks and then like trying to reach nirvana by hanging yourself.
Oh yeah, and then having someone who I didn't know, Dee Snider's fucking articulate as shit. He's a really smart dude.
Yeah.
And then he got to play that role instead of being like a awkward dude who dressed like he was part of the Smash and Crash Brothers from the WWE, wearing a bunch of makeup, dressed like a transvestite. Like when he stopped being a twisted sister and he started being an actor, it's like, oh, I'm here for Dee Snider. I like him a lot. He's a really cool dude.
Yeah,
but IFC's dropped some fucking gems, dude.
That's the thing. Like Dee Snider is he knows how to play the game.
Oh, dude. So like when he went against
Twisted Sister is just
stupid.
He's like, this is how we're gonna make it. Mm-hmm. We're gonna do perms and black leather and makeup, and that's how we're gonna make it. And they did. They were the biggest thing for like 3-4 years.
And then he went
before like other hair metal bands started to figure it out.
And we're just gonna keep blowing people all the time. But real quick thing about Dee Snider is there's this amazing thing that happened in the censorship in the 1980s with Tipper Gore. And Tipper Gore was trying to put that parental advisory shit on everything.
Yeah.
And then him and John Denver spoke in front of the congressional hearing, and he lit those fuckers on fire. He came in there, cut off denim vest, looking like a douchebag from New Jersey, and he's like flicking his hair back and shit, and he looks all smug. And they're like, "Oh, you look tired. Were you partied last night?" He's like, "Actually, I don't drink, smoke, or do any of those drugs. I just like to perform rock and roll music. Now, if you're here to hear me out, I'm willing to speak my piece." And they're like, "Oh, fuck." And then he just goes through and like rattles off constitutional this, law that, creative this, and he's like, "Take all my twisted dick and put it in your mouth while I fuck your sister." It was amazing. Such an awesome moment for just free speech in general.
He really, like, a lot of people give Gene Simmons a lot of credit, but I think Dee Snider deserves just as much, if not more.
Well, Gene Simmons is a piece of shit. Dee Snider's a cool dude.
Gene Simmons is a greedy motherfucker.
He's a horrible guy.
I
don't like him.
I used to be a Kiss fan.
Sorry.
And then
Star Child?
Here's
in the fucking Catman?
Here's the problem.
That's what can I do?
I liked Kiss until... And they needed to not do these reality shows. They were stupid.
That's true.
But they put out that Gene Simmons Family Jewels.
Oh, man.
And then I got to see the real Gene Simmons.
He's a dick.
And I was like, fuck you.
Not a cool guy.
I was like, the Demon? Awesome. I saw 2001 when it was supposed to be the original farewell tour.
Yeah.
I went.
Oh.
And great show.
Mm-hmm.
Great show. And then they just kept going.
Not good.
And then he put out that reality show, and I was like, you're just a greedy piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like you anymore.
No. And then, like, he's like, ooh, he does this Family Jewels show, and it's supposed to be all about his family and how he's a family man and stuff like that, but the whole time he's just talking about the good old days where he used to fucking, like, cheat on his wife all the time and be a horrible person.
And you have so much money.
Oh.
And you like, okay, I didn't like the Osbournes either.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't want my vision of Ozzy being ruined the way it was.
Well, that's what drugs will do to you, though. Like, his life was rough.
Yeah, but they just showed him being the dad that's like, oh, here's $500. And
not just that, but like...
I didn't want to see that. But
I disagree. There's some...
But at the same time, I respect that more. Because every time Gene Simmons kids talk to him, he's like, well, why don't you go get a job? What the fuck are you going to do with those hundreds of millions of dollars when you die?
Yeah.
Just let your fucking kids
he's gonna be buried with it.
He probably.
Yeah, and it's fucking stupid kiss
Proved
coffin.
to me he's nothing but a douchebag.
Stupid dude.
Now, Paul Stanley,
he did something.
Real cool. He's a real cool dude. Ace Frehley, Peter Criss, they're cool dudes. Mm-hmm. Like they're burned out.
Oh, like that, well, Paul Stanley's still doing the damn thing. He was on Broadway for a while. He played the Phantom of the Opera.
But Peter Criss, Ace Frehley were kicked out. Whatever, they quit because they did all those drugs back in the day.
Too much.
And they're burned out. But if you ever hear an Ace Frehley interview, he's one of the funniest fucking people
I can only imagine.
Because he's like in his 60s and just completely burned out. And it's great. But he was the smart one. Because he never signed his makeup over when he left. So they had to give him millions of dollars so somebody else could wear his makeup so that they could pretend he was still there.
Wow. All right, get on it. Well, now that we blew up a little bit of the old school rock and roll, we Detroit Rock City that shit.
We got we got some fucked ass stories.
Yeah, what's fucked right now, Dave?
A Florida man faked a robbery so he didn't have to work at Hardee's anymore.
That's hilarious. That's what you should do.
Way to go, Florida.
Yeah.
you take a menial job and then you fucking fake shit so you don't have to work there anymore. Their TV station reports that 32-year-old Brian Anderson of Dundee, Florida.
All right.
Yeah.
Walk about.
That says a lot. Told dispatchers Tuesday that two gun-carrying men took his necklace, money, and phone before jumping into a car and driving away. Police went to the scene, realized none of that happened.
None of that shit.
On a Facebook post, the sheriffs said Anderson confessed to that on the bright side, Brian didn't have to go to his 11 a.m. shift at the restaurant.
God damn it, though. Just call off, dude. Just call off.
Just quit. Call off, quit.
I mean, we're gonna Hardee's got to suck really bad. We don't even have Hardee's out in this area. I don't think that I can think of.
Jefferson.
That's a fucking horrible place to be anyway.
Yeah, but it's there. I'm just
All right.
letting you know.
Well, just that sounds like something like a 16-year-old kid would do.
Damn
Be
right.
like, and they wouldn't call the cops. They'd call their boss, make that story up. Call their mom, make that story up, and then those people would call the cops. This guy literally just went forward and was like, you know what, dude? They stole my necklace, which, I mean, you know how many quarters it took to get that out of that machine? So many fucking quarters. And then the next thing you did is I had a Nextel flip phone from 1994, and they fucking took that shit too. I couldn't even get a hold of anybody. How'd you get a hold of us? Carrier pigeon. Doesn't matter. And then towards the end of it, they're just like, okay, what else? They took cash. How much cash did you have? $11.34. Really? Yeah. 15 nickels and a couple of bucks. I don't know. It's just a lot. They took it from me. And what all this happened? On my way to Hardee's, man. I have an 11 a.m. shift. I couldn't get there. Okay. We're going to go back and we're going to ask you this again, sir, because what you just said sounded like a 7-year-old trying to explain away some shit.
Like a 16-year-old dumping vegetable soup in the toilet to make it seem like they threw up.
I still do that. I tell my wife I have morning sickness. That way I can get out, like, taking care of the other kids. But it's just such a dumb fucking story. Like, why didn't you just say I don't want to go to work? Why didn't you say I was sick? Like, I can't come in. I got a tummy ache. What? You live in Florida. You could have been like, dude, an alligator ate a pug, and I was tripped out. I can't figure it out. It's too much. And then instead, he's like, dude, I'm not hitting out.
I couldn't save the pug boys.
Yeah, I couldn't save the pug boys. You could have. You were better off reciting Kevin Hart's bit about why he was 5 minutes late to work.
Yeah.
On his special than saying anything you fucking just said. But I admire your diligence and creativity and how much you were willing to bet on yourself. And you know what? In a time when you're a 32-year-old man working at a Hardee's with a Nextel phone, you may as well bet on your fucking self.
I give him credit for not trying to use an alligator.
Oh, dude, there was someone who threw an alligator through a fucking drive-through window in Florida, got hit with a deadly assault charge. The best shit ever.
Did we talk about how there was a couple in a trailer park in Florida that turned their fucking kitchen window into a drug drive-through?
No, but they're amazing entrepreneurs.
They were just selling meth and pills through their fucking kitchen window, and people were driving through like McDonald's.
That's fucking awesome. Good for them.
I feel like that only happens in Florida.
No, it's the only time we get to hear about it.
Yeah.
Because, again,
we're so quick to point out how shitty Florida is.
Yeah, public record, though.
Oh, by the way, if anybody from Canada listens to this, I do have a question. Is Nova Scotia your Florida? Because I feel like Nova Scotia gets picked on the way we pick on Florida down here. I just want to know. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That's fine. I would
hope it's not Nova Scotia, because that sounds like a pretty name. Like Newfoundland, that sounds like somewhere I don't want to go. That doesn't sound fun at all.
It seems like I hear a lot of things where people from Nova Scotia get picked on, like the way we pick on Florida people.
I'm sure there's one in every country ever.
Yeah, there's gotta be.
There's always.
Just like in every, what do I want to say, race? There's like the N-word for that race.
I would assume so, but this could be slippery.
But if you accidentally call an Asian person, I think it's like Vietnamese is the one they look down on the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you slip that up and mix them up, they get so mad.
Well, it's like when someone calls you Italian.
Yeah.
You get salty.
I do.
Yeah. Like, I'm not a fucking guinea. And you're like, hey, man.
I do.
Let's not do that. We're all white. It's okay. But to them, there's some steak in it that I'm not aware of. Alright, so that's fucking stupid, though. What else? What else we fucking got? Who else can be dumb?
Alright, we've got Uri Geller tells Prime Minister, I am going to stop Brexit telepathically.
Genius. Good push.
Excuse me hard.
It's all there. It's all there.
I don't mean to do this. I'm sorry.
What?
It snuck up on me.
It's that rally drum.
It really is. It's coming out hard. Okay, so this dude's on TV. I didn't know that.
Oh, that's not good. That's a bad start too.
Okay, so the TV personality said he admired the Prime Minister, but felt physically and very strongly that most Britons were against the UK's withdrawal from the EU. He wrote, I feel physically and very strongly that most British people do not want Brexit.
Double down.
I love you very much, but I will not allow you to lead